Good Sunday to everybody in Com 651. Welcome to the first week. Cheers. That is much better. I am your sufficiently caffeinated communication instructor, Dr. Jeff Gardner. Welcome to Com 651. This is going to be a fast-paced course, because it only runs 8 weeks. All right. And we're going to focus on public relations and cases and campaigns. So I've got what I think is a good course in store for you, but in order to get the most out of it, you're going to have to get on top of it like right away. So the class is open, It has been open for the last week in Canvas, no longer Blackboard. And I know this is going to be something that we're all learning, bit of a learning curve for everybody. So by the way, IT has increased its number of staff. If you have questions, I think a number of the departmental secretaries have been trained in helping with Canvas. And then, of course, there's me. All right. So if you have problems, if you're not sure how Canvas works, how to get into it, what to do, how to post, blah, blah, blah. Send me an email, give me a text, or we can even call if, schedules align. Okay. So before tomorrow, Monday, that's probably when you're going to be seeing this announcement. Or I should say starting tomorrow. That's better. I want you to do a couple of things. Make sure that you get into the Canvas class. They call it a shell. All right. Look at the menu over on the left-hand side. Become familiar with it. All right. In the announcements link, which is the second one down from home, I'll be putting your weekly announcements there. The syllabus is just what it says. Syllabus, make sure that you download the syllabus. All right. And in particular, pay attention to the dates, things that we're going to be doing, and due dates. This is an 8-week course. It's going to go very, very fast. We're gonna try to cover a lot of ground over the course of the 8 weeks. And by October the 12th, yikes, this is even before Thanksgiving. Boom, baby, we are out of there. That is, the course is over. Okay. Now, again, on the left-hand side, the modules, these are the places where you'll find the assignments week by week. So for week 1, you already have some assignments. First of all, I want you to get in there and for those of you who've never had me, I have a little blurb about who I am in there. I come to communication by way of history. I have a advanced degree in medieval history, but I've been in the communication and media business now for almost 20 years. I've worked all over the world, in some 27 countries now and counting, for not-for-profits, large, small, for governments, the United States government. I've worked for the United Nations. I've worked for the Kingdom of Qatar. I've worked for the Provisional Authority of Iraq. So I have done all kinds of public relations and campaigns, and I have pitched innumerable numbers of campaigns and promotions and media events. So this is something that I have a good grounding, a lot of real world experience that I'm going to be able to try very hard to bring that experience to you, make it relevant and interesting to the course. Okay. For those of you who've had me, you know that I love coffee. In fact, I run on it. I also love deep wilderness trekking. That is, although I love the work that I do, I'm happiest when I'm on the trail somewhere way, way back, or somewhere, up high, 10,000, 15,000, 18,000 feet. And that's what recharges my batteries, is getting out and getting away. So I spend a lot of time on trail. So, as the course goes along, for those of you who are not familiar with me, you may hear a few hiking analogies or two as I try to explain what we're doing week by week. Okay. So download the syllabus. Make sure that you take a look at what we're going to be doing from the syllabus. All right. We have one required text, and you can, I have it in electronic text, and that's perfectly all right if that's what you want to get. You can rent it off of Amazon. It's Hayes, Darrell and Hendricks, Jerry and Coomer, Public Relation Cases, the 9th edition. I think to rent it, and if I remember correctly, the rental period runs like clear through December, because Amazon, the people at Amazon just couldn't fathom an 8-week course, a half semester course. I think it's like $40. So it's not super cheap, but it's not super expensive. All right. The other texts that you'll find in the syllabus, these are recommended. You do not have to get these. And then, of course, any other resource that you can find out there as we move along. All right. So get the syllabus, get into the readings, because if you go into the module for this first week, we've got some work to do already. Okay. The first thing that you're going to do on day 2, not day 1, day 2, that is on Tuesday, I need you to take the syllabus quiz. And this is actually required. Why is this required? And, although it's required, you really don't get any points for it. The reason it's required is that Regent, along with every other university who has students that are receiving federal financial aid of any kind, whether it's a Pell Grant or a loan, we are required with online courses to actually prove that there's a live person on the other side, and there's not some sort of a bot or some sort of a scam going on to get the money for the class, but not actually be in the class. All right. It's just how the world goes. One person runs a stop sign and they ruin it for all the rest of us. So you have to take the syllabus quiz. So on day 2, on Tuesday, take the syllabus quiz, but go into the module for week 1. Take a look at the overview. All right. This will tell you week by week the objectives, what it is we're going to be drilling down on. All right. And these are going to have the same format week after week after week. The study section, the module, this will tell you what it is we're going to be doing. So in the first week, we're going to be reading the first 2 chapters of Hayes. And then I've got some news stories linked in there for you as well. Okay. One on the opioid epidemic, one on a death involving death like as in demise, the retailer Sears, and then one on the diversity of the cabinet under President Trump. And I'll tell you why you're reading those as we get into it. All right. So we have a couple of assignments that I need you to get crack-a-lacking on right in this first week. All right. Number 1 is I've got some discussion questions for you focused on the readings. Okay. So this is in the modules, but it links you over. The way Canvas works is when you set something up in one area, it links you over to another. So if you look in the modules under week 1, you'll see a module that says discussion. When you click on that, you'll notice that you're taken over to the discussion section. So don't let that confuse you. Just follow the directions and upload it where, in the assignment that is, or the discussion section where you need to upload it. Okay. So there are readings, and then there's a question prompt that I need you to answer in week 1. But most importantly, all right, there is not a final exam in this class, and there is not a research paper. All right. What there is a series of write-ups based on what you read week by week. And you have an opportunity to work together on a collaborative PR campaign. So over in the module and in the assignments, so it doesn't matter which one of these 2 that you go to, you'll see it, both. You'll see one in the other, and in the one and then the other. You're going to find something that says Collaborative Public Relations Campaign Project. All right. I need you to click on that, and I need you to open it and then make sure that you download it. All right. Now, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. So what I've done is I've broken the class up into 3 teams, and I've just gone alphabetically. There was nothing, I think I think I said constructed randomly. That's not entirely random when you go in order. So that's a misnomer. But there are 6 people per team, 3 teams. And what you're going to do is you're going to write a public relations campaign pitch as if you were giving it to a company. In this case, you're giving it to the Billy Graham Library in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I have a link to that, okay? That is to the Billy Graham Library. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be pitching a PR project to them in which you're promoting the use of their library for both people walking in and people coming in online. So you're going to need to familiarize yourself with the library, that is the product, the process, that standard business practices for promoting things like libraries to a very specific key public. If you don't know what that term is, don't worry, you will by the end of this 8-week course, both on and offline. All right, we're going to break this exercise into stages. Okay, and in the sheet, again, read it carefully. There are 4 major stages, each with projects within them and specific due dates. The first major stage is the research phase. The second one is establishing your goals and objectives. The third one is your campaign, your program phase. And then the fourth one is how you're going to evaluate the effectiveness of the campaign. Okay. And I'm going to have you do a write-up for each one of them. And there are specific due dates that they are due. All right. This assignment in total is worth 900 points, but it's spread out over the semester. So although it's worth 60% of your grade, there are enough different parts that if you don't do so well in one part and you do better in others, it'll all come out in the wash. It is not a 60% sort of roll of the dice, like taking a test or writing a final paper and everything is riding on the one single effort. No. Okay. It's spread out through the week. All the weeks. All right. So it was about every 2 weeks. There's a write-up for the section that you're doing that's due. And then finally, when you get all the way to the end, you will give a presentation of your project. You'll pitch it as if you're trying to sell it to me. All right. So I am the agent at the Billy Graham Library, and you are trying to convince me of why it is your company should be hired to promote our library, both online and offline. Now, you're going to need to work in groups. You're going to need to get together with the members of your group really fast. You're going to need to decide on some sort of a collaborative online workspace. Canvas has Zoom. You can work through that. You can post files back and forth. But if there's something that, another online collaborative space that you're familiar with, like Slack or Monday, you're free to use whatever works for you as a group. But in the first week, excuse me, I need everybody on these teams to get in contact with each other, maybe sort of decide who's a point person, who's going to be out front coordinating, keeping up. I would establish a workflow calendar if I were you. Okay, so who's going to be project manager and making sure that all the deliverables are on time? Get together early on and decide who is doing what, because the first report on the first section is due at the end of the second week. Okay, I'll talk more about that as we go along through the semester. Excuse me. But I want to give you a heads up that you need to get on that right away in the first week. So contact the people in your group, download the assignment, get together, use Zoom. That's available through Canvas. Use Google Meets. That's free. Zoom's free through Canvas. Okay. Get together, the 6 of you in the 3 teams. Make sure that everybody understands how this assignment works and everybody has a role, because this is meant to be collaborative, not 1 or 2 people do everything and then, the other 4 or 5 go, oh, yeah. Yeah, that's great. Thanks, guys. No, that's not how this assignment is designed to work. Okay, so I hope there's going to be a dynamic semester. This assignment is not meant to be an academic research project. I want you to write this and approach this as if you were actually pitching it to a company. So graphics, very, very attention-grabbing phrasing, presentation, formats, options, all of that is open to you by way of landing the contract and promoting this library. Okay. All right, everybody. welcome to the class. I am really excited to have you here. I know these 8-weekers can be, kind of. So you'll hear from me at least once a week by video, and you'll hear from me by way of announcement often. If you have any questions, reach out to me. You can use the email link now in Canvas, which is I think an improvement over Blackboard. Email didn't always work so well with Blackboard. Okay, if you have any questions or anything's going on, and I look forward to getting to meet you. So get into that discussion board and introduce yourself to me and everybody else. And I look forward to this semester. Okay, everybody, take care. God bless. See you on Canvas. Bye-bye.